Hi students, the next topic in your taxonomy, it's about the botanical nomenclature, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, and this is a very important topic from the first unit of the taxonomy paper. So now let us learn about what is botanical nomenclature and what is that significant role that is playing in plant sciences and especially in the area of taxonomy. Botanical nomenclature means giving names. So the nomenclature, it involves the certain principles and certain rules, and these rules were formulated and adopted by the International Botanical Congress. Means nomenclature means giving name to the plants. So for giving a name to the plant, a specific name to the plant, it involves it actually follows certain codes, certain rules and certain procedure, and that set of rules and set of procedures were being formulated by some international code of botanical nomenclature. And first of all, initially the rules and regulations and the procedures for the nomenclature was being first initiated from the International Botanical Congress. International Botanical Congress, that's a scientific community. That's a scientific community meeting actually at the international level. So means all the botanists will actually they formulate a meeting every 1 or 2 years, and there they adopt and they actually formulate the rules and processes for the nomenclature. So such type of initiation was first being done by the International Botanical Congress, and the rules and regulations and the procedure which is developed by the International Botanical Congress, and that's being changed into some certain code. That code is called as the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. So the nomenclature is it's being initiated from the International Botanical Congress, and later whatever the rules and procedures that are being formulated in the International Botanical Congress, they being formulated into, changed into, modified into again that code which is known as the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. So botanical means we already know that's related with the plant science. Nomenclature means naming of the plants. Nomenclature means naming. Botanical nomenclature means naming of the plants. So it actually developed as a branch of botany. Botanical nomenclature, it's actually developed as a branch of botany which deals with the application of the correct naming of the plants, and also the what are the related principles and the rules. So botanical nomenclature is a branch of botany which deals with the naming of the plants and also the rules and regulations and the procedure of naming of the plants. Actually the principles and rules of the botanical nomenclature, they just like I said, they are developed initially and they are adopted in International Botanical Congress meetings, and later they were being formulated as International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. So here what is the main goal of International Code of Botanical Nomenclature means it provides the main goal, it provides to one correct name for each taxonomic group. So taxonomic groups means the groups in taxonomy, like in a classification, if a classification starts with certain series of levels, like the highest division is highest level is kingdom, and later kingdom having certain divisions, and divisions are divided into certain classes, and classes are being divided into certain series, and series are being divided into orders, and orders are being divided into family, and family are being divided into genus, and genus are being they have so many species. Like I once again explain to you that the highest rank, the highest division in botanical taxonomy, it's kingdom. So each kingdom have so many classes, each kingdom has so many divisions, and each division have so many classes. Okay, and each class have so many series, and each series have so many orders, and each order comprising of so many families, and each family consisting of so many genera, and each genus consisting of so many species. So like this, the botanical the taxonomy and the classification levels will be like this. Okay, and here the main goal of the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature is to provide a correct name to the plant. Okay, it's the main goal of International Botanical Nomenclature, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, or the Botanical Nomenclature, simply as we say, is to provide a correct name. Correct name in the sense that should follow the rules and procedures and the code and whatever the set of procedures being formulated by the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. So that's the main goal. And here ICBN formulates a set of rules and procedures to give a particular correct name to each level of the taxonomy. Okay, so each level of the taxonomy is called as taxon. Level means, just like now I mentioned, level means kingdom is a level, okay, class is a level, family is a level, genus is a level, order is a level, series is a level. So like that, so many levels are there. So each level is called as a taxon. So here ICBN, International Botanical Code of Nomenclature, it provides a correct name to the each level, each taxon. And it actually, nomenclature should be universal. Universal means a plant should be identified with a certain name universally. Worldwide, the plant should be identified with only a single name, and that shouldn't create any confusion. So here the point is, the plant name should be universal, means the whole world should recognize the plant with a single name, and that name shouldn't create any confusion. Okay, and that's the point here. And here the formation and use of scientific names of an organism for nomenclature, that is governed by codes of nomenclature. So whatever the naming of the formation of the name, forming of the name, and then using of the scientific names, and all these being done by the certain code of nomenclature, and that code here in the sense that is known as International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, which is being modified after the Botanical Congress, International Botanical Congress. And that's about the introduction of the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. And here, if you can see in the slide, the different types of codes of nomenclature are there for the organisms. Okay, and here each nomenclature is being different, means botanical nomenclature is completely different, which won't depend on geological nomenclature, and geological nomenclature is completely separate, and it won't dependent on botanical nomenclature. Like that, different types of codes are being individually separated, and they are completely different and they are completely separate. Okay, and let us see what are the codes of nomenclature are there here. So first one is like International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, and it includes the nomenclature for the plants, including fungi and also the cyanobacteria. And then second one, like International Code for Nomenclature of Cultivated Plants. Cultivated plants means whatever the plants we are cultivating in the fields and crops, they are known as the cultivated plants. So for certain for those plants, for those cultivated plants, there is a different set of codes for the nomenclature. Okay, and that is called as ICNCP, International Code for Nomenclature of Cultivated Plants. And then third one is International Code of Geological Nomenclature for Animals. And fourth one is International Code of Nomenclature for Bacteria. And International Committee on Taxonomy of Viruses, that is ICTV, that's exclusively for viruses. So like this, different types of and different codes of nomenclature are being formulated, and which are very separate and very specific, and they are not dependent on each other. And now coming into the binomial nomenclature, and this is a very important concept for the biologists, which you already might have the idea about. Okay, binomial nomenclature means naming a living organism with two words. So out of the two words, one word is known as the genus and another word is known as the species. So this binomial nomenclature concept was being put forward by Linnaeus, and he is the Swedish scientist. His full name is Carolus Linnaeus. So he introduced actually the system of the binomial nomenclature, and this binomial nomenclature was being introduced in his book, which is known as Species Plantarum. His book name is known as Species Plantarum, and that was being written in the year 1753. So in 1753, through his book Species Plantarum, so actually he introduced the system of the binomial nomenclature. And Carolus Linnaeus, who is the Swedish scientist who put forward the concept of the binomial nomenclature, he is known as the father of modern taxonomy. Linnaeus is known as the father of modern taxonomy, and he is also known as the father of modern ecology. Ecology means the branch of botany which deals with the environment. The branch of botany which deals with the environmental concepts, that is known as ecology. Taxonomy means the branch of botany which deals with the identification, nomenclature and classification of the plants, that is known as the taxonomy. So Linnaeus is known as the father of modern taxonomy, and also he is the father of modern ecology. So in binomial system of classification, just like I have mentioned, the name consisting of two words, binomial. Bi means two, nomial means names. So two names. Each living organism has two names. Just like I told that one name is of the genus and another name is of the species. And the name should be always in Latin language. For example, the scientific name of your mango plant, that is Mangifera indica. So considering the word Mangifera indica, Mangifera is the genus name, the first word, and the first word genus name always starts with a capital letter. And the indica, it's a species name, and the species name always should start with a small letter. Okay, and whenever the name is written with hand, means handwritten names or any typed names, and those names should be underlined always, and the scientific names should always be in Latin language, just like I have mentioned. Okay, and those are the main concepts of the binomial nomenclature which were being put forward by Carolus Linnaeus. And that's about the significance of the binomial nomenclature. And now coming into the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. So just like I said, foundation, the initiation of the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, that was found by again the same scientist Carolus Linnaeus. So he actually proposed the ICBN concept in the year 1751 in his book known as the Philosophica Botanica. That book is known as the Philosophica Botanica, where Linnaeus proposed some set of the principles of nomenclature. Principles means rules. So if you want to formulate a name for any plant, so the naming should be followed with a certain set of rules and procedures, and those certain sets of rules and procedures were being first initiated by Linnaeus in the year 1751 in his book Philosophica Botanica. So in this way, for ICBN, for International Code of Botanical Nomenclature also, Linnaeus took the initiation. And later in 1813, another scientist known as A.P.D. Candolle, the scientist named this one A.P.D. Candolle, he again formulated another set of proposals and another set of rules in his own book, and his book is known as Theorie Elementaire de la Botanique, and that is his book name. So in his book he actually formulated another set of code and another set of rules and another set of procedures for nomenclature. And these rules which were being formulated by Linnaeus and also by A.P.D. Candolle, they were being followed in first International Botanical Congress, which was held in 1867 in Paris. And these rules with some modifications, after some modification, those rules are known as the Paris Code. That is known as the Paris Code. So that is the actual stepping stone for the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Initial step for the formulating a code of botanical nomenclature. So the first International Botanical Congress was being held in 1867 in Paris. Okay, and there in that meeting, the rules which were being formulated by Linnaeus and A.P.D. Candolle were being accepted with some modifications, and that first set of code is known as the Paris Code. And later the subsequent meetings of International Botanical Congress, they were being held at in the year, like you are seeing the slide 1892, another meeting held and another code was being formulated, and that code is known as the Rochester Code. And 1905 Vienna Code, in 1907 American Code, in 1910 Brussels Code, and 1930 Cambridge Code, or that is known as the ICBN, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, and in 1983 that's the latest, and that is known as the ICBN, that was being held in Sydney, Australia country. And actually this International Code of Botanical Nomenclature that is having 6 principles and have 75 rules and 57 recommendations. Okay, and the recent code is the 2005 Vienna code, and later another code is also being formulated. Okay, and that's about the subsequent meetings of the International Botanical Congress and the different types of codes being formulated after the first Paris Code. And then coming into the principles of the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Now, what are the botanical nomenclature principles? There are 6 principles, significantly 6 principles total for International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, and let us see what are the 6 principles. First rule or first principle is botanical nomenclature, it's independent of zoological nomenclature. Just like I mentioned in the previous slides that about the different types of nomenclature, each nomenclature it's different, each nomenclature is different, and then each nomenclature is being it is completely different, and it's not dependent on any other nomenclature, and that is the first rule, and means each nomenclature is being completely significantly different and they are not dependent on each other. That is the first rule. And second rule of ICBN is it's whatever the naming of the taxonomic groups. Previously I mentioned what are taxonomy groups. Taxonomy groups are the divisions of taxonomy. Like in the classification there are so many divisions. If you are going to classify an organism, you are going to classify the organism at certain by following certain levels. The highest level being the kingdom, and the lowest level, that is the basic unit of the classification, that is the species. Smallest level is the species and highest level is the kingdom. So all those levels, they are known as the taxons. All the levels of taxonomy, they are called as the taxons. Okay, and those taxons were being named for by following the rules of the nomenclature. That is the second rule. And the nomenclature, whatever the rules are there, the nomenclature of the taxonomic groups, and that is mainly being based on the priority of the publication. Priority of the publication means after the if we identify any plant and if we name the plant, and that plant name should be published, and that plant name should follow all the rules and guidelines being formulated by the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, and that is the naming of the plant. It should be published. Like the first name which is being published will be accepted normally, and means unless and until it doesn't follow any certain rules and guidelines. Means the name with certain rules and guidelines, which follows the certain rules and guidelines being proposed by International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, that is being accepted first. Okay, and the second name it's not being accepted. Means here the point is, each and every plant species have only one name. Worldwide it should have only one name. Okay, and that is the third principle. And fourth principle of ICBN is each rank and each position of taxonomy. Like just like I said, each position means kingdom, division, class, subclass. Okay, and series, order, family, genus, species. So like that each one is known as a particular level, right? So each level that is known as the taxon, and each level should have only one correct name. Okay, and that is the fourth rule. And the fifth rule is like the scientific name of the taxonomic group. It is always treated or written in Latin language, and that is the fifth rule of the ICBN. And the sixth rule, like the rules of the nomenclature are always permanent. They won't be retracted back. Once a rule being is formulated, that will be permanent unless and until there is something serious problem arises. Okay, and the rules of nomenclature are always retroactive. These are the 6 principles of the ICBN which were being formulated in the meetings of ICBN. And coming into in the slide, you can see the different ranks of the taxonomic categories. Just like I said, these are all the different categories. And here you can see the first one. This is known as the kingdom. The biggest category. This is known as the kingdom. Biggest taxon. Biggest level. Okay. That is known as the kingdom. Kingdom always ends with a name. Ends with words like Bionta. BIONTA. and each kingdom is having so many divisions, kingdom consisting of so many divisions. So division name ends with phyta, each division consisting of so many subphyla. Okay, each phyla consisting of so many subphyla, each division consisting of so many subdivisions. So the name ends with always phytina. And class, each class ends with the name Opsida, OPSIDA. Okay, and each class consisting of so many subclasses, and the name of the subclass ends with IDAE. And each subclass consisting of so many superorders, the name of the superorder ends with ANAE. And order, coming into the each superorder consisting of so many orders, and the name of the order ends with ALES. And each order consisting of so many suborders, and the suborder name always ends with INEAE, INE. And suborder consisting of so many superfamilies, and the name always should ends with ARIAE. And superfamily consisting of so many families, the name of the family always should end with AC, Fabaceae, Asteraceae, Brassicaceae, like that. And family consisting of so many subfamilies, and each subfamily name always ends with Oideae, OIDEAE. And each subfamily consisting of so many tribes, and tribe name always ends with EAE. And then each tribe consisting of so many subtribes, and the name of the subtribe ends with INAE, INA. And each subtribe consisting of so many genus, and genus name always there is not any specific format for genus. There is no specific format that, but the genus name should be always italicized. It should be in Italian language, and the genus names always starts with a capital letter. And the species, which is the basic unit, smallest unit of all these tags, all these are called as taxa, TAXA, plural. Single one, each one single, it is called as taxon, TAXON. Each one is known as a taxon. Class is a taxon, order is a taxon, family is a taxon, kingdom is a taxon. Okay, genus is a taxon. Okay, all together known as taxa, that is a plural, TAXA. So whatever the words are being in bold and thick, and they are the important taxonomic categories here. Okay, and the largest unit of classification is the kingdom, and the smallest unit of the classification is the species. And the species may have subspecies, and the subspecies may have variety, and forms all must be there. So this is the rank of the taxonomic categories. Means if you want to classify any plant, that should follow this type of classification: kingdom, phylum, subphylum, class, subclass, order, superorder, order, suborder, superfamily, family, subfamily, tribe, subtribe, genus, species, like that. So this is the complete taxonomical classification, the different levels of classification, different levels of taxonomy, and these are called as, each level is called as a taxon, TAXON. So if you want to classify a plant, you have to classify the plant like this. You have to classify the plant following this order. Okay, and coming to the features of the taxonomic hierarchy. This is known as hierarchy, level by level, species, level, upper level. So level by level, this is known as the hierarchy. So coming to what is the hierarchy features. So normally in this slide I told you that family always ends with AC, right? Family always ends with AC, but there are some exceptions. Okay, like you see in the next slide, some family names, they are not ending with the AC word. They are ending with some different type of letters. So let us see what are they. So here the Apiaceae family, this is the first name of the family, and this family also have another name, that is known as Umbelliferae. This is also family name for this family, Apiaceae, and it means Apiaceae is having two family names. One family ends with AC, like following the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, and another family ends with Umbelliferae, AEAE, and Ericaceae. This family ends with Palmae. Okay, and this is the deviation from the normal taxonomy. Okay, and Brassicaceae, and this having another name Cruciferae. See, AC is not there. And here Asteraceae, it is having another name Compositae. See here again AC is not there. And Clusiaceae, and here another name Guttiferae, AC is not there. Fabaceae, another name for this Leguminosae. Okay, and Lamiaceae, and here Labiate, AC is not there. Poaceae, another name Graminae, AC is not there. So these are the some alternative family names which are not having AC in their ends. Okay, and these are some deviations from the normal nomenclature regarding with the family. And now coming into the rules of nomenclature in various taxa. Taxa means, just like I told you, taxa means all these are known as the taxa. Taxa, all these, వీటన్నిటిని taxa అంటారు. ఒక్కొక్కదాన్ని taxon అంటారు, TAXON. All these collectively called as taxa. Okay, and now let us see what are the rules of nomenclature in various levels in taxa. Okay, and what are the rules of nomenclature for kingdom, what are the rules of nomenclature for genus, what are the rules of nomenclature for species. So we are not going to see about all the taxa nomenclature, but here we are going to concentrate only on the genus nomenclature and the species nomenclature. So let us see where the genus and species. See here, this is the last but one position genus and the last position species. So here we are in this here we are going to see the nomenclature rules of genus and the nomenclature rules of species. And now genus name should be it depends upon the scientist. Means scientist, if at all scientist discovers a plant, if you want to name a plant, so the naming should be done with 2 words, right? According to the binomial nomenclature, the naming should be done in 2 words, genus and species. So the genus name always, sometimes it ends with scientist name, like the scientist who discovered the plant, like the name, like example Linnea, it's after the scientist name Linnaeus. Hookeria, the scientist name Hooker. Theophrastus, who is the father of botany. Okay, and then the name of the genus may also be based upon a certain place where the plant is being discovered. For example, Araucaria, Salvadora and Arabis. Arabis is a country, Arabia. Salvadora is a place, is an area in some country. Araucaria, and this is also a place. So these 3 names, the genus, these 3 genus names are being based upon a place. And some genus names, some genera names, and they are being followed, they are being with some mythological origin. Mythological origin, maybe after some religion, some god names. And here Theobroma, this is some god name, and Nymphia, this is an angel name in Greece and in some Arabic countries and some East countries. Okay, and means some of the genera names can also be based on the god names, and some are like local names like Zincgo and Suga, and some genus names are like the combination of the 2 words, like see here Hygrophila. Hygro is one word which is being which meant moisture, phila is leaf. Okay, poly means many, and gala means surface, and aster means star shaped, and cantha means thorns, mullu. So here the combination, the genus is the combination of the 2 words. And the species, coming to the species nomenclature also, that also should be that also being based upon the, normally species nomenclature will be based upon the character of the plant. Okay, and species always starts with a small letter, and if at all species is having 2 words, if at all any species is having 2 words, the second word is having 2 words, and those 2 words were being united with a hyphen mark, like see your hibiscus rosa sinensis, mandara. Hibiscus is a genus name, Rosa sinensis is a species name. See here in species name 2 words are there, and 2 words are being connected by a hyphen mark. Okay, and some species names are being after the scientist name, like example Dillini, Sengupta and Wildernoi. These are the scientist names. So some species names are being based upon the scientist names, and some are based upon the character of a plant, like Indica. Some are based upon the character of the plant or the area the species found. Okay, Indica means the species is found in India, and that's after the name India. And grandiflora means, grandi means very large, flora means flowers. So means that particular species is having very large flowers. So based upon that character, the species name is known as grandiflora. And another one is Hirta. The species name is Hirta, Euphorbia hirta. Hirta means it's having some thorn like projections and some mullu lantivi anamata, mullu lantivi, polusakulu lantivi. Okay, and that's not having any smooth surface, which is having some rough surface. Okay, so that is known as Hirta. like some that is having some scales like projections, some small hair like projections, short hair like projections, and that based upon that character the species of the name is known as the hirta. And then another one is known as latifolia. Lati means flattened, folia means leaves. Based upon the flattened leaves character, that name is latifolia, species name. And some species names are not, suppose if a plant is there which is being a wild plant means the plant which normally grows in forest very naturally. Humans won't take care of the growth of the plant. They being born and they being grown in very naturally. Those plants are called as the wild plants, which are being in forest. So those plants, if the wild type of plants are being identified, and those plants if they are being grown from several thousands of years or hundreds of years, and the naming of the plants will be same. And like wild plants which are having very important wild plants and which are being very significant, and they are very important plants, and they are being found and they are being grown since so many thousands or hundreds of years, and those plants names are not being changed. Okay, and the plant names were not being changed. Why? Because since thousands of years, since hundreds of years, and those plants are being identified. So that's why ICBN won't interfere in that wild plant names. And then coming to the priority. Priority means, just like I said, each taxon means level. Each level should have only one name. Means class should have only one name, order should have only one name, and species should have only one name. Worldwide for any plant, each level should have only one plant with which the plant should be discovered. Okay. For example, your Mangifera indica. Mangifera means genus name. Genus name is having Mangifera only throughout the world. All the world people, all the countries, different countries people will recognize a particular mango plant by identifying with the word Mangifera. Okay. And indica means that is a species name, and that because that Mangifera indica is being found in India, so that is indica name is after the country name. So priority means whoever first formulated a name following the certain rules and principles of ICBN, and that name is being accepted first. So that name is being given priority. Later, whoever comes with any other names later, they are not being accepted. Why? Because worldwide, one plant or one species of any plant should be identified with only one name, only one genus name, and only one species name. So each species of a plant only should be identified with one genus and one species name. Okay, not only genus and species, but also that plant should be identified with only one family name and one class name and one division name. So all the taxa, all the levels of the taxa should be identified from upper to the top. They should be identified with only one name, and that is the basic principle of the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, and they are the rules of nomenclature regarding to the genus and also the species. So what is the basic unit of classification? Means species is the basic unit of classification. Okay, and now coming into the comparison between the scientific names and the common names. Common name is like in any area, the plant name is the people will call the name, call the plant, identify the plant with one name. Suppose for example, in Andhra, Hibiscus rosa sinensis is called as Mandara. Okay, and in Tamil Nadu, that same Mandara mokka, it's being called with different name. In Karnataka, it's being identified with different name. In Delhi, it's being identified with different name. In Uttar Pradesh, it is being identified with different name. Means those are all the common names. Common names can be any. Means common names can be more than, they can be many. They can be the common names of one plant. They can be many. Oka mokkaki ennaina sare sadharana namalu undachu. Ennaina common names undachu. Oka mokkaki ennaina common names undachu. Kani scientific name matram okkate undalu. మొత్తం వరల్డ్ వైడ్గా సైంటిఫిక్ నేమ్ ఒకటే ఉండాలి. ఆ మొక్కకి ఒకటే జీనస్ నేమ్ ఉండాలి, ఒకటే స్పీషీస్ నేమ్ ఉండాలి. అండ్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ జీనస్ స్పీషీస్, ఆ మొక్కకి ఒకటే క్లాస్ ఉండాలి, ఒకటే ఆర్డర్ ఉండాలి, ఒకటే ఫ్యామిలీ ఉండాలి వరల్డ్ వైడ్గా. అలా కాకుండా సైంటిఫికల్గా కాకుండా మనం విడిగా చూస్తే అదర్ apart from the scientific name, the common names should be, they can be many depending on the region which the plant grows and depending on your language. Okay, and the same while being considering with the common names, the same plant is being called by different common names in various places. Okay, and common names sometimes can be misleading. They can create confusion. Common names, they can create confusion because Solanum melongena, that's a scientific name of brinjal plant. Solanum melongena, brinjal, scientific name Solanum melongena. Solanum is the genus name, melongena is the species name. So Solanum melongena is the scientific name. Common name for brinjal is eggplant. So there are no eggs in brinjal, right? Eggs won't be there in brinjal. So it creates some common names, create some confusion sometimes. Okay, so there is a vast difference between the scientific name and the common name. Scientific name worldwide should always be the one, whereas the common names, they can be many according to your region and according to your language and according to your place and according to your district also. For some plants, district wise also the names will change. People will call the same plant in one district with another name and another district with a completely different name. Okay, those are all the common names. They create some confusion. Okay, and now coming to the genus features, some more genus features. So what are the ranks above the genus? Levels above the genus. Okay, they are means those ranks are always have a distinct ending. Like I said, they always ends with a particular words. Like let us go back once again to the taxa slide. See here, this is the genus, right? This is the genus, and taxa above the genus, all these, see, from kingdom to the subtribe, all these levels, all these taxa always ends with a particular words. Okay, but the genus and the species are different. The name can be it's not general like this. The name can be different. So that's what the point is. All the taxa above the genus end with a particular wordings, particular letters. Okay, and all the categories and all the taxa below the genus, they always should be preceded by the genus name. Okay, and జీనస్ కన్నా పైన ఉన్న ట్యాగ్సా ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో, పైన ఉన్న ట్యాగ్సా అన్నీ కూడా పర్టికులర్గా వర్డ్ ఈ పదాలతోటి ఎండ్ అవుతాయి. జీనస్ కింద ఉన్నటువంటి ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో, జీనస్ తర్వాత స్పీషీస్ కింద ఉన్నాయని, వాటికి పర్టికులర్ వర్డింగ్ అంటూ ఏమి ఉండదు. సో అది వాటికి పేర్లు ఎలా అయినా పెట్టచ్చు. సో దట్స్ ద పాయింట్ ఐ వాంట్ టు క్లియర్ టు యూ. అండ్ so that's what being given in this slide. So genus name, whatever the tags are being above the genus, they always ends with a particular characters. Okay, and see here one example is there, Solanaceae. This is one family. Solanum tuberosum is there, Solanum melongena is there, Bangaladumpa, Vankaya, ivanni untayi. Okay, and all the vegetable plants are there, and this Solanaceae family consisting of the genus Solanum. So basing upon the genus Solanum, the name comes Solanaceae. Okay, and just like I said, each level is called as taxon, taxon. Plurally they are known as the taxa. Studying of taxon or studying of taxa is known as taxonomy. So just like I said, taxonomy is a branch of science, branch of botany, which deals with the identification, nomenclature and classification of the plants. Okay, and previously I said the genus always should be capital letter and it should always be in Italian language, and the species and the genus word should always be a noun. Okay, so genus is a single and plural and it is called as genera. And coming to the geographical epithets, like what are the some plant names are being based upon the geographical regions. Some plant names are being based upon the geographical areas where the plants are being identified. So like this, some countries, after the country names and the locality names, For example, Osahare. Osahare is the genus name, which is being adopted from a place known as Sahara. Okay, and Wopugensis, that is being taken from the Pugu area, and Osancte, that's being taken from the place from St. Helena. So like this, so many examples are there, and means here ICBN International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, it recommends that, it states that whatever, if you are going to name a plant, if you are going to name a plant based upon a geographical region, and that name should always ends with these words, normally ENSIS, ensis, ANUS and ICUS. Okay, and tautonym means if the plant name consisting of the genus and the species consisting of the same words, malus, okay, like that, if the same words are being repeated, benjoin. So this type of nomenclature is not being actually accepted. Okay, it's being, if the plant name is like this, then that plant name will be rejected. That's about the geographical epithets. And now coming to the features of the taxonomic hierarchy. So from this slide, I'll just put up another presentation, another video lesson. Okay, so on this point I am stopping this presentation. Hope you understood. Okay.